There's a big old snag, big old dead log over on the other side of my burn pile. That's why I was spraying it with water. I don't want the fire to get into that big log. It's just gonna smolder forever and smoke. That big dead snag's no fire hazard. We just want to leave it there, let it decompose. Rained last night. It's cold. Everything's soaking wet. Looking good. I did a lot of work on this burn pile. I removed some of the branches to make it smaller. We're in the thick of things here. We're in the woods, so close quarters. There's a lot of trees around this burn pile, so I made it a little bit smaller just to be safe. And you'll notice how I just barely got it started. Hopefully that'll be enough. I want this thing to burn more on the small and slow side. I don't want this to be a big burn pile because of the location. It's close quarters. Whoa, there it goes. Oh, it's cold. Oh, fire feels good though. You can see how it's starting to run a little bit out of its border right there. No cause for alarm, no cause for concern. Everything's soaking wet. There's a creek 25 feet that way. We're good. We're looking good. Just burn in the middle of winter, early spring, late fall if you've had a couple storms. Just burn responsibly, and you should have nothing to worry about. When you're torching burn piles, it's just blatantly obvious the power that fire has. You can see there's some steam coming off my snag there. There's a big old valley oak here that died, and all the branches broke and are now lying on the ground, but we're looking good. It's just beautiful this time of year. Fall's my favorite time of year. Look at the California black oaks around here, how beautiful their leaves are during the fall. We had a really serious winter in Northern California last winter, and the trees are just the healthiest in this canyon I've ever seen them. I mean, it's been years since they've looked this good. Those are blue oaks over there. Look how good they look, you know, for December 1st or whatever today is, you know. It's just, look how nice this ponderosa pine looks. Another big ponderosa pine there. It's just beautiful. Oh, this is just going great, everybody. Man, that ½ inch of rain we got last night, that was the ticket. I probably won't even have to spray again. It's looking good. I have to move you, everybody. You're gonna overheat. I gotta put you way over here until the fire calms down a little bit. It's still working. It's a miracle. You guys haven't overheated yet. Well, my log smoldering a little bit, but I did the best I could, right? I'll just have to spray it again before I leave. Let me show you the previous burn piles that we've completed. This is what we did yesterday late morning. See how nice and clean they look when I'm done. This was a small one, and the one that we did yesterday early morning is right over here. This is a pretty area. God, I love this property. It's just beautiful. And this was a big burn pile. And now we're right next to the pond. Here's one of my connections. Every time you see one of those connections, that means 200 feet of hose. So from connector to connector, it's 200 feet. I'm running them in 200-foot segments. Oh, so actually I have 600 feet of hose. That's right. I have 600 feet of hose. And this is the kind of hose where it's puncture proof. I mean, it's not fireproof, but it is puncture proof and it's fire resistant. You can drag it through coals and stuff. Just don't, leave it in the middle of a fire. And then here's that huge one that we did 2 days ago. This was the only pile we did on that day because it was so huge. And these logs smoldered forever. See that? This whole ravine was packed full of dead wood. That was a big burn pile. And then before that, we did that one. Remember that one? That was a big one as well. That was the only burn pile we did on that day. And then we did another one. And then another one right there. You can kind of see the white ash. And the day before that, we did two over there. And those were also big. So we've done 10 in total. This is what I call the upper portion of the property. And then once you get to the pond, I call this the middle section. And then once you get way down there, I call that the lower section. So we're still working the middle section. I've only done a little bit of work in the lower section. That will be saved for next year. It's a multi-year process, especially working on big properties like this. It's a multi-year process, at least 4 years, maybe even 5 years of work to get it opened up, healthy, sustainable, and fire resistant. And there's a lot of other benefits that come with management of the land, such as regeneration of the California native plants and trees and wildlife, soil erosion control, soil fertility improvements, all kinds of great stuff comes from managing the land and keeping it healthy. Most people are mostly, well, I shouldn't say most, some of my clients are mostly concerned about just their house not burning down. But I'm just saying, a whole bunch of other good benefits come with the work associated with making sure people's houses don't burn down.